Good afternoon. My name is Murph, and welcome to Prog Monster, a site dedicated to progressive music, progressive rock music, hard rock, heavy metal, pop, all that type of stuff from the classic rock era and onward. As we go along, I'm getting more and more into stuff, and it's just basically just to discuss things about music that we've liked and music we want to hear more of and keep it alive. Anyways, today we're doing a look back at a progressive rock album from the 1970s by a legendary band, and this album is actually probably considered, if not the best album ever released, certainly in the top 5 for sure. It's not my personal favorite by this group, but it was the album that kind of launched me into them. And initially, I was a huge fan of this album, but I initially didn't like the band because of another album that they had released when I was a teenager, and it kind of turned me off them, and I didn't want anything to do with their music, and so I didn't for the longest time. Got this particular CD at a yard sale for $1, if you can believe it. So it has a huge impact on me, and has brought this band forefront for me now. And they're not one of my favorite bands, but they're getting up there. Anyways, the album we're talking about is, of course, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Now, this is not the original album. It's a remastered album. It's a little bit different, but still has all the killer tracks on it, all the stuff that we've come to know and love about Pink Floyd. This album was released on March the 1st, 1973, and it features David Gilmour, Nick Mason, Rick Wright, or Richard Wright, and Roger Waters. They were the musicians that put it together, and Pink Floyd actually produced this album, and it was produced at Abbey Road. That's why I'm wearing the Abbey Road shirt today for it. So let's just get a little bit of discussion about the album. It is probably considered quite far ahead of its time when it first came out. It's very progressive, lots of different sounds on this album. This album is one of the best albums to listen to by headphones. It starts off with Speak to Me, which, right away you're getting something unusual. It just goes right in from that. It goes right into Breathe, which is even more unusual. Just the sound effects alone in your headphones are unbelievable. I know a lot of people who like to partake in substances think this is the best album to listen to while they're that way. I never was into that. Not at the same time, anyways. So I didn't get that kind of an effect, but I still enjoy the album quite a bit, both listening to it and listening to it on headphones. On the Run, I really like that song. Time, of course, is one of those radio classics, and the guitar in this is just screeching. I just love this song. It never gets old with me. I listen to it fairly regularly. Maybe my favorite track on the album. The Great Gig in the Sky, another different type of song. I really like a lot of it, like the way that it builds up. Money, of course, is the radio staple. I probably heard this song too much. I still like it. I mean, it's still a good song, but sometimes when I'm listening to the album, I don't feel like listening to that song again, so I'll just skip over it. Us and Them, just a melodic, droning, really relaxing song. I really like it. The album itself is fairly dark Side of the Moon, right? So, Any Colors You Like, another good track. Brain Damage, it's an unbelievable song. I just love it. And Eclipse, the final track of the album. And all in all, it's a classic for a reason, right? It's considered their best album, considered by many people to be the best album ever produced. Certainly is very different from anything that was coming out at that time. It's not, like I said, it's not my favorite Pink Floyd album, but it's a great album. I love it. I listen to it fairly regularly. maybe 2 or 3 times a year, which is fairly regular for me. There's a lot of stuff to listen to. Anyways, that's it. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, subscribe, or you could hit the like button at the bottom. And if you got any comment about the album that I don't know, or something that enhances the experience of this album, I'd be willing. I'd love to hear that. And so anyways, you have a good day. And this is Prog Monster signing off.